Yo, what's good, guys? ATG just got my workout done. Really good, really good workout. I'm not gonna lie. We did back. I want to give you guys a quick list of the movements we did. We started off with cable rows. I don't know what's going on with my car. It keeps the computer keeps resetting itself. I guess like in the middle of like when I start the car up, when I start driving, the computer like it resets itself or something and everything turns off. My ABS turns off, my traction control turns off, hill start assist turns off, everything just stops working. My power steering stops working. Like right now it feels like I'm driving a car from like the 1950s or something. Okay, and then after I speed up a little bit, it goes away and it starts working again. It's weird. If anybody knows anything about that's watching this, give me a good some good advice. But anyways, like I was saying, we did seated cable rows. We did to warm up, very light. Just went through the motions. Then we did lat pull down, very light again. Just went through the motions. After that, that's when we got into like the real work, I would say. So I put on my weighted vest. I think it's about 45, maybe 50 pounds. We did basically every variation, not every, but almost every variation of pull-ups. So we did wide grip, close grip pull-ups. We did wide grip, hammer grip, chin-ups. And then we moved on to working weight on the cable row. Then we moved on to working weight on the lat pull down. We did some, what do they call these? I guess you can say they're back raises, but I did it with the machine. So it's not like you're over the ab machine or ab construct and you're lifting yourself up. It's just on the machine going back and forth, right? If this makes any sense whatsoever. After that, we did some biceps, just really standard, really quickly, hammer curls and just standard curls, and that was it. That was the workout. Nothing too crazy in the sense of not a huge variation of different exercises, but just kind of the fundamentals. But we hit the fundamentals pretty good, I would say, minus the biceps. For some reason I just have no urge to train biceps. I haven't had it for a long time. I don't know why. I need to kind of get back to it though, because what's gonna happen is my biceps are gonna start lagging behind the rest of my body eventually if I don't get on top of it, you know. But aside from that, diet has been good so far. I've been eating, so my meal prep is chili basically. Essentially I put all types of seasoning, then I put red kidney beans, ground beef, and peppers and onions, garlic, shit like that, right? What I've been adding is I've been adding a lot of cottage cheese and a lot of Parmesan to it. But I don't think I'm supposed to be eating, like, honest to God, I'm not supposed to be eating dairy. It just doesn't, for whatever reason, it just doesn't sit well with me. And they say that the aged dairy products have less lactate in it or lactose in it, so it's supposed to be easier for your body to deal with. But like as soon as I started eating the Parmesan and the cottage cheese, I just got extremely gassy. I can't necessarily tell if I'm bloated or not. I'm not too sure, but the gas for sure. And that's it really. It's just the gas. And of course, I think it from my opinion, like I've done the theory crafting before. I've done the testing before. As soon as I start eating dairy, especially in large consumptions, like I get acne like crazy. So for those two reasons, I don't think I'm supposed to be eating dairy. But it's not like I'm getting stomach pain or stomach cramps. I'm definitely not getting that. So I don't know. Is it something that I just need to let my body get used to by consuming it consistently? Or do I need more pre and probiotics? Like I don't know, right? So I have to kind of figure this out, because if I don't, I'm most likely just gonna go back to, more than likely, I'm just gonna go back to the really clean cut and simple, just steaks, eggs, that type of stuff. Like some vegetables, fruits, honey, coffee. Like I'm just gonna go back to basics, right? this doesn't work. But this is so convenient because I'll just make a huge, gigantic pot of chili, and that'll last me the week, right? And that's a lot of food. Like, it's a huge pot. It's a lot of protein, especially because of the beans. A lot of fiber, right? I get the veggies in there as well, and I'm getting a lot of protein. I think I already said that. So a lot of good fats as well. So I mean, it's just really convenient. We're gonna play around with it for a little bit longer and see how it goes. But like I said, if anything, I might just have to switch back to the straight strip loins. You know, the straight strip loins on the grill every night. So, or on the cast iron at least. Aside from that, I've been slowly but surely losing weight. I'm only now starting to actually notice the weight that's coming off. So that's a good sign, right? It means I'm not necessarily rushing through it, because I'm doing it completely intuitively. I'm not tracking a dime. I'm not tracking one single macro, one single calorie. I'm kind of just eating and judging it based on how I feel, how full I feel. Just based off of prior knowledge, I can just look at a meal and guesstimate how much calories is in it. And I'm of the belief that I'm probably eating on average between 1,800 and 2,500 calories a day, with some days being higher, of course. And that's pretty good for me, in the sense of my maintenance is probably like 25 to 3,000, I would believe, just from my daily activity and working out. So I'm essentially eating between a 500 to, let's just say, 700 calorie deficit, which again is good, right? That's not too drastic where you're going to be putting your body into some kind of state of shock and you're going to be losing more muscle than you really need to be, right? I refuse to believe, even though it's a fact, like it's undisputed, but I'm of the mind where I want to refuse to believe that I'll lose substantial muscle, or you will lose substantial muscle whenever you go on a weight cut. I don't want to believe that, but I mean, I want to have my mind over matter type of deal, nullify that. But you know, reality is reality, right? At the end of the day, muscle memory is a very real thing, and you will gain back that lost muscle relatively quicker compared to how long it took to gain it. But I'm honestly of the belief that if you really just try to emphasize the protein, especially on a weight cut, and then backfill your carbs and whatever else and fats afterwards, and say you're like me, you weigh about 215, 220, and you're getting like 220 or more grams of protein per day, which is a lot. It's hard to get. It's not cheap necessarily, but if you can do that, I'm honestly of the strong belief that the amount of muscle you lose on a weight cut, on a diligent weight cut, a smart weight cut, will be so minimal, if not non-existent. But that's what I want to believe. Especially if you're actively still exercising, not necessarily with the same intensity, but you're still exercising while you're on the weight cut. I think it's like signaling to your body that this muscle is being used, it's needed, so don't burn it, right? It's a lot of bro science, but it makes like perfect logical sense, right? To let your body know now, okay, the muscle is in use, I need to actually burn the fat instead. But I mean, evolutionary wise, I mean, you would also want to lean towards thinking that your body would preserve that fat because it knows you're in a deficit, and it wants to hold on to the energy source. I'm not sure. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it, right? But that's just my bro science opinion on that. The facts are out there though, as far as we know, based on the research that has been done. If anybody wants to actually like go see what the cold hard facts are currently, that can change. Facts can change, because we think we know something one day and then the next day it completely flips over on its head, right? Aside from that, a lot of moving parts in the personal life. Trying to look to get a condo or apartment soon. I ran into some repairs on my car, cost me a good chunk of change. It is what it is. It's part of driving. Driving is a luxury, right? So what else? nothing else I really want to talk to you guys about or share right now, at least that I can think of on top of my mind. Solo Leveling. I've been up to date on Solo Leveling, and why, for all the people out there that are fans of anime, it's good, man. It's a must-watch. It's just a trivial, on paper, trivial, basic concept, but it works. They just do it so well. The characters are just so likable. It just works. And that's the only thing I'm watching, actually, because One Piece is on, well, it's on filler, hiatus, whatever you want to call it right now, and Demon Slayer isn't for a while. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm watching. I was watching Damnachi, or however you say it, How to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon, but even that's kind of, I don't know what's going on with that right now. A lot of issues with the animation studio, I think. And aside from that, that's it. I did start an actual TV show, not anime, recently. It's called Paradise. Now, I am not going to lie to you guys. This one might be a banger. This one might be a sleeper, actually. Because just like From, I don't know if I put any of you guys onto From. I watch From. From is a sick show, super underrated. It's from the same people that did Lost, but I think they've learned their lessons from their mistakes on Lost, and they're basically doing From a lot better. So, watching that. Next season comes out, I think, this week. But aside from that, Paradise, I just finished the second episode, and man, it's good, brother. It's good. So far, with 2 episodes in, I highly recommend it. And it's very, I can't say much because it's one of those things where if you start saying anything, you really start kind of spoiling the show. But what I'll say is it's very realistic in the sense of what happens in the show can very well happen to us in real life, you know? And how do I put it? Inevitably will probably happen. That's all I'm gonna say, because I don't want to say too much, because you can very easily spoil the show if you say too much. But that's basically the gist of it. All right. That's it. That's all I have to say. It's all that's on my mind. I will check in with you guys hopefully sooner rather than later with another video. ATG, I'm out. I'll leave you guys with the regular message of the day. If you have not worked out today, if you don't plan on working out today, if you don't plan on doing it, guess what? Go work out. All right. Later.